Well, we had an inch of rain overnight or something like that. And it is 45 and breezy this morning, I tell you. It is not nice out here. Bring back the nicer weather. We have a chance of frost overnight tonight. It's April the 15th going on, right? Today's the 15th. That's usually our date of last frost. So let's bring it right down to the wire tonight. Right down to the wire. Kitties are doing good this morning. Is it a Tux bump and run? Slate's like, oh my goodness, what was that coming out of the garage? Just should have seen her look at you. Just let him go past, guys. Just let him go past. That thing is quiet. I think I mentioned to you guys yesterday that we were going to go to Mr. Ball's for eggs, and the container site, the small drop-off garbage area, is just around the corner from him. So we're also going to the landfill. We got plenty of stuff from our continued garage projects, plus our normal household stuff to drop off. It's just not pleasant out there today. I'm all bundled up. I got on a long sleeve shirt and a shirt jacket, and we're probably going to work with the LED tubes in the garage when we get home, but not a lot of outside stuff happening today. Well, folks are parked every other space, at least for now. I think Dawn's the only one here that's got a mask on, but you can only take care of yourself, and I hear folks about outside versus inside. At least they're open, and he's not having to wait. He's just getting stuff done. Don says he thinks he dropped off more cardboard today than he's ever dropped off at the landfill.
Yeah. That was, God, I don't know how many times I went back and forth between the back of the GMC and the crusher, the cardboard crusher thing. Eggs, pecans, honey, apple, frozen veggies, tomatoes.
I don't know that he's got strawberries this year.
I agree.
I don't see him here, and I also don't see him across the way on the other side of the street either, so I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't look encouraging.
Y'all come back. Don says he was able to get 6 dozen. They had gotten some more in this morning, so.
Yeah, they had, I would say, 15 dozen or more, maybe. I don't think 20 dozen eggs in there, but you know, 6 took a couple rows, and they had at least 3-4 more rows after that. So they got plenty of eggs right now.
And Don was able to get a quart of strawberries. They're just starting to come in, which is about right.
Yeah,
well, this is a spot where red-headed woodpeckers are known to nest. They really like dead trees and swampy areas, and that really tall dead tree sort of in the left third of the frame there has a lot of woodpecker holes in it, but I don't see any right now. I was hoping. This spot has lost several of the dead trees to decay over the last few years. It's kind of down to not as many locations as it used to have. But, you know, a swamp like this will provide a habitat for quite a large number of animals and birds. It's pretty. Well, who knows if kids will really be going to this elementary school in the fall or not. But it is coming along, and there are still some guys working on it. So I've been thinking about saying something about education for over a week now, and normally I'm not at a loss for words, but I've really struggled with exactly what it is I want to say. And especially when, you know, I always try not to be offensive and open-minded and tolerant and all of those good characteristics versus the bad ones. But You know, Wake County has about worried me personally to death about education for Johnny and all the kids in Wake County here for, I guess for most, what's the end of the third quarter and then the fourth quarter. The state superintendent is sending out emails and text messages all the time, and then Wake County school system has been sending out emails and text messages, and then we've gotten, you know, some stuff from our principal, although he had said at one point that he was told not to message us because Wake County and the superintendent wanted to supersede his words of wisdom. Personally, I'd rather hear it from Mr. King. And then there's been some communications from teachers. And Johnny is in a position where he had finished third quarter, so we're only talking about fourth quarter. And, you know, I was reading an article the other day that said, should we hold kids back? Should we make them go to summer school? Should we start school earlier in the fall? Should we use third quarter grades as the fourth quarter grade? How, you know, just a lot of back and forth on how we should handle it. And also the disparity of underprivileged areas where they may not have access to the internet and Chromebooks or a Windows machine or whatever. I know in Wake County that Spectrum, our typical cable provider, is providing free internet service to any kids that don't have it. They will come and hook it up. The school has gotten a whole lot of hotspots and they've given them out for free, and they've also had a program where they had hired the bus drivers, who now obviously aren't moving kids around, to go and deliver Chromebooks to any kids whose parents basically said, my kid doesn't have a computer to use, please bring me a computer. So I think, at least in our county where we do have some funding, that we've made a really good effort to make sure all the kids have access to a computer and the internet as best as we can. If the kids don't have it at this point, it's because their parents didn't speak up that they needed help. So I guess what I really wanted to say with this is there's all this concern about fourth quarter and what are we going to do, and my personal opinion is whatever grade they had prior to the pandemic and them going out of school for the year, that ought to be the grade they get for the year. And you know what, folks? These kids will be just fine if they miss 2 or 3 months of education in their career. Think of all the things they could be learning at home, how to cook, time to just go outside and breathe and not be so stressed, extra time to socialize with friends online, time to read books, pick something they want to learn about. I don't know what all, but there are things to be learned from life besides things that come out of academic textbooks and or online curriculum, and that those things, having a small window in your life, an unexpected bonus window where you get to possibly do some of those things, I just don't see the downside of it. Where I think they should focus is, I think they should focus about being ready in the fall in case we have more of these coronavirus spikes, that they would you know, be ready for more online education and not continued loss of education into next year. I mean, I just see the fourth quarter's a wash. They're giving them some busy work. They weren't really ready for online, especially for all grade levels. I mean, math and Khan Academy, they're set. But some of the other things like history and English and how do we handle these other things online is a little more problematic. So instead of stressing about what we're doing for one quarter of education, let's make sure we're ready for going forward if we find ourselves in this predicament again. I realize it's complicated, but I don't know. They just are really worrying parents to death, I think, about this fourth quarter stuff. The educators are really worried about it. And I think a lot of the parents aren't as worried about it. And I think the educators should adjust their opinions based on parents' capabilities and opinions. I saw some moms, some working moms on TV last night, and they said they were really struggling. And I get it, because I used to be a working mom at home with little kids and trying to manage career and kids and, you know, education and staying busy all at the same time. And it's hard. So we stopped into the environmental park so I could get my daily Pokemon stuff taken care of, and Don made sure he stopped, put the GMC in park. I waited for over a minute before I picked up his phone and went into Pokemon Go on it. Then I did the Pokemon Go stuff. I turned it off. I set it back down, and we made it another minute before we moved away because Don's gotten dinged twice for me using his phone to play Pokemon Go while he's driving.
Right.
So the app has no way to know if the person driving or the passenger is using the phone. So just to say, the State Farm Drive Safe and Save thing, you know, this little device that's up here. If you've got kids that like to use your phone, or a partner, spouse that likes to use your phone while you're driving, this is not going to work for you because you're going to get dinged. Just saying. But we're testing it now to see just how sensitive it is, because we know we were in park, totally not driving while I was using the phone. So we'll see what it says this time.
Yep.
Better not have dinged him again.
That's right.
Well, this won't be very scientific, but I'm showing you what the existing LED tubes down here look like. Plenty bright, but Don says the new ones will be brighter. And so 3, 6, 10, there's 11 down here. Am I counting right at 11?
I think it's 12.
12. Where's the 12th one? Over the back here? Yep, 12. All right, so it doesn't look to me like we're putting them in the fixtures right away. What are we doing first?
We're going to hook up. I have a couple of these tombstones. I have enough tombstones I can hook up both lights. The new one, and the existing lights. This is the extra from the existing lights that I had. I had 25 and I needed 24. So this is the leftover. So what we're going to do is hook it up here on the bench, and then we're going to use our kilowatt meter, and we're going to measure. This one's supposed to be 28 watts, and this is supposed to be 18. We're going to see what they really pull.
Sounds like fun to me.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
So the existing LED light tube is pulling 18 watts, which is what it's rated at, right?
That's right.
Sorry it's upside down. It is what it is.
Intelligence test. Which one's the 18 and which one's the 28?
Well, on the camera, the back one looks a little brighter. Yeah, you can't really scientifically tell, I don't guess. I would say that the back one, which is the new one, which is 28 watts, is a little brighter maybe. So how much are we pulling now?
40 watts. So yeah, I'll disconnect the 18 in just a second. So between the two, the 18 plus so one of them's like 22 and they lie. These dogs, they lie.
Can't fool Donnie.
Yeah, normally if you put a piece of paper, the brighter one will look brighter once you dim it down. In other words,
The back one does look brighter to the camera with the paper on it, but maybe not as much brighter as they said it was going to be, huh?
Yeah, right. So I'm going to turn it off.
22.3, 22.4. And how many watts was it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be 28 watts.
So that's a lot less. That's not just a fraction of a watt. That's
It's supposed to be a dual row 28 watt. I don't know. I'll have to try to figure out how to get the cover back so I can see, because I can't really tell. I think it's just a single row. They do make 22 watt single rows.
So I guess Don said this is a tombstone because it's shaped like a tombstone. I had to ask about that. I'm like, what did you say that was?
Yeah.
Well, this is upside down too, but it says 28 watts. So it's not. Well, at least the new ones are not dimmer.
That's right.
I guess we could question if it's really worth swapping the ones out down here or not.
Right.
Because that does require us to take all of the fixtures apart. Although it won't be a ton of work with 2 people to work on it.
This is the old one, and you can look in there, and you can see that it's a single row of LEDs.
I'm looking. I see it. Single row. I clearly see one row.
That's right. So I'm going to pop the end off the
other one and look.
Yeah. I'll try to pop the end off the other one.
Well, it is dual row. It is 2 rows. You can see the LED side by side here. Yeah, I told Don I think we should replace just one and then see if we see a difference up high. and then decide if we want to swap the ones downstairs for the new ones or not.
All right, we'll replace this one in the middle.
Okay.
And that way we'll have two fixtures to compare with.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if you can tell which one's the new one.
Let the camera get adjusted to the light, which it's really not doing. There it goes. It's warmer.
Well, it's supposed to be 6,000 K.
But it's warmer.
I agree. It's not.
I don't like it because it's warmer. I like bright white light. It's not that much different, but it's definitely warmer. It's not the same white.
Yeah.
Brighter, I don't know. Is it brighter, Donnie? I know you guys can't tell on video, so, you know.
Maybe?
Maybe.
I would tell people, y'all don't waste time buying anything bigger than an 18 watt bulb. Unless you just know for a fact, because these are Zoopod, and I think I actually ended up buying from the same place. Or the same manufacturer. So, I mean, they really are, these are 18 watt, 6,000 K, and those are 28 watts, supposed to be 6,000 K. I mean, they feel exactly the same. That's what I did, is I took the, I had to undo one end just to make sure it was really different.
Yeah, because the outside, the ends, the whole way the tube looks, everything, if you didn't read or open it up on the inside, you couldn't tell they were different. I agree. Right. Yeah. To an undiscriminating eye, they look identical.
Yeah.
So how much was the price difference?
Oh, significant.
Because it's double the LEDs.
25, about $1, maybe as much as over $1 a piece. I think the 18 watts were like $129 ish, something like that, $118 ish, and then the
for how many?
For 25.
Okay.
And then the 28 watt were $149 ish, right around that ball. I think.
So it's the difference between $5 and $6 a tube.
Right, it's between 5. That's right. Plus, of course, obviously, well, it's only, we measured it. It's only 4 watts more. The difference between 18 watts and 22 watts?
Yeah, it's just shy of 22.
Yeah, so it's really only 4 watts more. And I would say maybe that's 4 watts
Well, now
more.
that I'm looking back over at it, maybe it's a little brighter. Right. A little brighter.
A little brighter.
Well, it's your call.
Yeah,
I don't care which. I'll help with however you want me to help.
Well, I'm looking at the little label. And this one, the new one is color is 6,000 6,500 K, and the old one just says 6K. So they are, you know,
they should be the same light temperature.
Yeah, but I do agree that the old one is one scooch. Well, I don't know now. Maybe
now that I'm looking at it,
well,
I don't know. It's brighter, so it makes the light temperature look a little different.
Right,
coming through the diffused lens.
But also that far one looks the same temperature as the next one. In other words, there's a little variation in the light fixture.
Yeah, angle and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's your call. What's it going to be?
Oh, we're going to go on and replace them. I mean,
all right.
In for a penny, in for a pound. It ain't like I'm going to send them back. So, you know, I wish they were noticeably brighter. You know, like knock your socks off. And if they were really 28 watts, because I guess the real question is, what's the price difference between 18 and 22 or 22 and 28? Because they do go 18, 22, 28. So, you know, there is a difference.
So maybe the ones we got were mislabeled, but they were meant to be 22s?
Right. Well, but they would have had to been mislabeled at the manufacturer.
Right. Oh, yeah. I totally.
eBay seller. You know,
yeah, the eBay seller would have no clue.
Yeah. He didn't know. Yeah, but they're not 20. Of course, you could argue, oh well, your kilowatt meter is not calibrated to ISO's XYZ, you know, standards or something like that. Yeah, okay, maybe not, but I don't think it's that that far off, especially when the 18 watt read 17.9. I would expect the 28 watt to read,
27.6 or something, yeah.
There's a lot of difference between 22 and 28. There's 6 watts difference, and it ain't off 6 watts.
So just to recap, in case you haven't watched every day this week, the ones downstairs, quote unquote, the old ones are going in the fluorescent fixtures upstairs, which Don had not converted yet.
Yeah, I have to convert them. I have to remove the ballasts.
Yeah, so, that's the plan. We'll have all LED tubes in the garage, upstairs and down, when we're done with this project.
Ballast bypass. These tubes do not use the ballast. And you don't want them to use the ballast because maybe if you're paying an electrician a lot of money, maybe you just want him to slap the tubes in and go, but versus pay the electrician to undo the ballast. I don't know which one is going to work, but the ones with ballast are always going to be a little bit less efficient than the ones that are basically just use the LED driver that is included in the lamp.
Now look, the word ballast is one of those words I've heard over and over again in my life, but I have no absolute clue what that is. So when we go upstairs, Don will have to show me what that is, because honest, I don't know what it is. And I don't know what it does, and I don't know why we need one, but I know that they're in fluorescent light fixtures.
They just make the fluorescent light fixture heavier, makes you think you got more for your money, right?
I guess.
I don't think so.
Well, that would have been a funny joke if I knew that ship had ballast and that it was a weight, but I didn't know that either. Don says he thinks it's a little brighter. I guess I'm going to agree with him. I'm sure on video it's really hard to tell a difference. It's not night and day different. Well, downstairs went lickety split. Upstairs is going to take just a little more finesse.
Yeah. There's a right and a wrong side to these fixtures.
Because they drop down, right? They swing down.
That's right, they swing down.
Yeah, Don had on his list to figure out why this fixture wasn't on, so I guess we're going to take care of 2 birds with 1 stone.
Sweet.
And this is 3 tubes up there instead of 2 tubes.
That's right.
Don's doing some studying. He's talking electrical stuff up there. I'm just being patient down here. He's got to figure out the first one, and then once he does the first one, doing the other 5 will be no big deal.
Right.
But right now he's just studying. He's not doing.
Well,
you don't have the electricity off, so you best not be doing, right?
That's right. So there's the 2 ballasts in this light fixture. I've dropped the lens down, and I think fluorescent tubes are like 277 volts or something like that. So basically what the ballast is a transformer, and it has a capacitor in there. So the capacitor is what kicks and allows the tube to start, and then the capacitor reduces the voltage down a little bit. That's best I can remember how that works. I'm going to go test the 3-way down here.
Wow, that's much brighter and much whiter.
Yeah, that's definitely the color I like up here. All right, let me test the, and I got it wired up right. So the single bulb's out in the middle.
Yep.
And then now this is the 2 outside bulbs.
Yep.
And of course, I can turn both of them off. All right, I'd say that one is wired correctly.
I agree, looks great. So Johnny says it's time. It's time to do the Echo Show 8 for Mr. Don. He's still upstairs wiring on a light fixture, and I'm working on dinner, but we're gonna check this out. And I'm excited to see how the stand works and how big this screen is. So let's get going.
There you go.
You know, Amazon always has innovative packaging, and here it's made to look a little bit like a pocketbook, if you ask me.
Well, it's a carrying case, because the thing about this is I'll put it back in here for a second.
Yep, it came right out. No problem, no chance of falling. It's nice heavy duty
Right,
cardboard.
so you don't have to turn it upside down. So
Okay,
you just
you don't
lift
have
it
to
like
put it all
that.
the way in. Yeah, there you go.
Alright.
Well, that is looks like a tablet-sized screen.
And for those of you who like screen peels, even though it didn't work right, there.
Well, Mr. Don peeled enough sticky off of light fixtures today to make everybody happy.
Alright, let's see what came in the box with
Yeah, it
this.
should be a power supply. We'll just plug it in for now, and then Mr. Don can sort out the power supply more later. Yeah, he's going to want to probably do something fancier with that.
Well, now what I will say is that it's not a separate unit. It's all one brick.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
So that's not exactly a nice thing to do nowadays when everything can get plugged into hubs.
Right.
Is there anything else in the box? Oh, there shouldn't be. Yeah, it's just the bottom part.
New key. We turned it on. We plugged it in, but it didn't immediately.
I didn't plug it in good enough.
Okay. Well, you know, could have happened to anybody. It's nice that it's stiff and not going to accidentally come out. Now it's powering up. Amazon. Now this is an Echo Gear swivel mounting plate, and it's not the one that Amazon makes. It's some other company, but I looked at.
Strong snap.
Oh wow, is that a magnet?
Mhm.
Wow.
That's a strong magnet too.
Wow. Okay.
Don't want to snap it together too much.
Wow, that's pretty neat. Hi, Marianne. This Echo device is registered to Marianne. If that's you, enter your Amazon password to set up your Echo Show 8. Way cool.
So I've got backwards here, but it's got a little bit of a bar in this part. I'm assuming this entire thing's magnetic, but this goes into here.
Oh, okay.
Magnets though, and they're strong magnets. And yep, that's in.
Wow, way cool. And it does tilt. It was supposed to be like 75 back and 25 down and left and right, and I'd say it does all of that.
I'd say it does this, and it's still connected, by the way. This.
Yeah.
And then 360.
Okay, yep. I like it. Simple and effective. Well, it's pretty cool. We have not had to use my phone or the A app on my phone at all. So that's pretty cool. It's all on here. Hey, Johnny.
That's loud.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Well, you look cool. Can you see me too?
Yep.
Okay, that's great. So now when I want to pester Don in the garage, I can make him look at me too. Well, I like it. I'm liking it a lot.
And it replaces this in the garage.
Yep. Alexa, go to YouTube.
Search YouTube for my Tesla Model X journey.
Here's what I found.
There we go.
Click me up at the top. Or not.
Well, it's definitely got bass.
We're up early for a Saturday. It's
Way cool.
just now 8 o'clock. Dawn's been out here.
It's a nice
detailing
size
Ruby,
screen.
which is why she's all opened up. We're headed
Alexa,
up to
stop.
a car show today.
Alexa,
Briar Creek.
Alexa, stop.
Searching
Ale-
YouTube.
There we go.
Hello and welcome to Out of Spec Motoring. This is part
Hi.
three, but really part two.
Hi from the
driving
garage.
across the country.
Yay, he's on number 3.
Right, number 3.
Well, you can see the LEDs are significantly brighter. The one on the left is the fluorescent tubes. One on the right is the 18-watt single row LED tube, 6,000 K temperature. And these two here are the same. So I've got half done. I've got those other 3 to do.
So how many did you get done?
I got 3. We're half done.
Okay, way cool.
Yeah, it's coming along well.
I got deviled eggs ready for you.
Good.
And I got ribs. The ones from the farm are just a little smaller, so they're ready. They're also ready.
Okay, good. I'm going to put the GMC in there, and I'll be right in.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I made a video for you.
Awesome. You know I like that. Did you see the show 8?
Yeah, it's uploading, it says. Don't unplug it.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it says.
I guess it figured it needed a firmware thing. When I went in the house, it was all ready to go.
Yeah, well, it's doing something now.
I'll go check it out. Yep, updating. Wow, we're liking that stock price. Way cool. So did that speaker sound good enough?
Oh yes, I like the deep-throated voice.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go feed you.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I'm gonna head to the environmental park and I'm gonna put Ruby in the garage. Instead of 66 and the air conditioning blowing, today it's 74 and the seat heater on high. We're gonna have frost tonight. It's not good.